Hello there and welcome to my review of Returnal. This is a game that I was really looking forward to playing. I remember when the PS5 came out, this is one of the first releases for the system by Sony. It was really made as a system seller for the machine, made with Unreal Engine 4. It looked gorgeous and I love bullet hell shooters, and this has that bullet hell DNA to it. It is very much like a shoot 'em up game but in third person, as you can see, and it plays like a dream. It really plays well. The moment to moment gameplay is fantastic. You can play with your mates as well. I played co-op here with my mate. This was part of an update. The game been out about 3 years ago now at the time of making this review, so yeah, it took me a while to get my PS5, but when I got my PS5 I knew that this is a game I had to play. So you can see my mate there, and we're going around collecting this sort of yellow stuff that drops this material when you kill things. I got caught by a tentacle there, and they pull you up in the air. You can actually use those to get to higher locations, which is really nice. But yes, you go right to the top, you get damaged. It's sort of like a nasty alien creature. Yeah, aesthetically this game does look very Aliens. It's very H.R. Geiger inspired. If you look at the models here, the 3D modelling work, texturing work is fantastic. And we look at the suit design, the concept work is phenomenal in this game, absolutely. All the intricate little bits and pieces, it's just, it's beautifully done. You can see that little bit moving around behind the helmet, and it's all superbly done. All the alien devices in the game just look amazing. The enemies are superb, beautifully animated, loads of variety. The action can get frantic. It's really exhilarating to play the game. You get into a flow, like a zen-like flow with it. You learn the different enemies. There's all these different things you can pick up and discover with each run. Like here I found something new, so you scan it and this is a new thing. So every run you find new things. This is ether. This is like a permanent thing you can get. It's a material that allows you to cleanse items. Some items have malignancy, which basically means you can get a malfunction if you try and use it and you don't cleanse it with the ether. Yeah, there's a lot to this game in terms of the mechanics. There's a lot to think about. Managing your resources, when do you use things, when don't you use things, what do you pick up, what don't you pick up. You can get these parasites you pick up that give you buffs and debuffs. Yeah, there's a lot to think about, and the bosses are really good. This is the first boss. It's really good with all the mechanics involved in each boss. You do have to learn them. This is not an easy game, and there are permanent upgrades. Like after defeating the boss I managed to get this permanent upgrade if you find these boxes in the levels. There are upgrades you can get for your suit. There's permanent weapon upgrades. You can get this sort of lightsaber type melee attack weapon that's really useful. Yeah, this is a different biome here. This is more sort of outdoorsy biome. It's part of the planet that's all dry and deserty and rocky. Again, here I'm playing with my mate. It's always fun to play with other people, but this game is just as much fun to play on your own. It is a roguelike, so the levels are randomised. Like each biome is different. Whenever you play the new run, you can open up shortcuts and discover new areas you haven't seen before. Now here, the green stuff, that's the health. So items aren't shared, so you basically have to decide who needs the health most. Let them pick it up. Yeah, there's lots of strategy involved. And we look at this monster here. It's got all these tentacles. It's really making use of the processing power of the CPUs in the new system. Look at all those tentacles animating. It's definitely a step up from your normal PS4 game. There's a lot going on here in terms of the game logic. I'm not timing that right. Certain things you have to get the timing right to avoid them. There's lots of jumping and dashing, and you can actually dash through certain bullets. So I'm reviving my mate there. You can revive each other, so you can like be the hero. You know, you can do a clutch moment where you kill a big boss and then res your mate. There are certain rooms where you get trapped in it until you kill everything. Other rooms you can just go through. You don't have to kill them. When he died, you see that red beam that comes out? He got my mate. He didn't jump over it. Got to res him again.
Assisting you.
But yeah, it is a roguelike, so you do a run and you go through the different biomes. But you don't have to go through the whole thing every time. Like when you go through a biome, you get so far, you tend to unlock shortcuts. It's really well thought out, so you always feel like you're making progress. And there are keys to certain doors to allow you to make progress, but once you open them, there's one door that you need 3 keys, but once you open that door, it stays open. So for the subsequent runs, you don't have to get each key again. You can choose 2 if you want to. You can even refight the bosses if you want to. And it's all about building up the resources you need. So I've extended my health bar here. If you pick up health when you've got full health, it actually extends your health bar. So it rewards you if you don't take damage. You get consumables. There's all sorts of consumables you can get. And I love the bullet patterns. Like, this is really like a bullet hell shooter. I have to dodge through this barrier. So there's a lot to think about. I loved bullet hell shooters on my Xbox 360. I remember playing Death Smiles and Akai Katana, and yeah, I love bullet. But this is like on another level. I mean, look at the graphics here. And this looks really impressive. There's a sense of scale to this game, and again, that is because it's on like the PS5, so it can do this big
towards the tower, broadcasting white shadow.
Big environments. Okay, this is like a cutscene. There is a story to this game. I mean, the old school shoot 'em ups, they always had a story, but there wasn't really much to it. They've really made an effort, Housemarque, to create a sort of a mysterious story. There's this lady, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but yeah, it's one of those things where they feed you little bits of information. You try and, like, as a gladiator moment here, and you try and piece it all together. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested in that, it's there for you. But it's a bit difficult to actually understand what's going on with the story. I didn't really understand it. I didn't play this for the story. I wouldn't recommend playing this for the story. It's all about the action. It's about the bosses. There's about 5 bosses, I think. So that was a bit disappointing. I would have liked to have seen another boss or 2. There is actually another boss that was added to the game in an update. I'll talk about that at the end. I just love the way every time you tackle a boss, you learn the boss's moves and bullet patterns, and how to figure out how to avoid them, how to stay alive, keep moving, when to jump and dodge. There's certain bullets you can't dodge through, like the purple ones. But each boss was really well thought out, and I love the music. The music is fantastic in this game. I've been playing games for a long time, like from the 80s, or even before the 80s. A long time. I played loads of games, and this is definitely one of the best games I've ever played. It's so well thought out, so well designed. This game was not rushed. They put a lot of time into the mechanics of this game, how it plays, and 60 frames a second it has to be for a game like this, in my opinion. It's silky smooth. Yeah, it is available on PC. I don't know what frame rates you can get on PC, but wow, it's just exhilarating. This is a real gamer's game. It's not easy, but it's fair, and you will learn every time you do a run. You will learn something new, and even the weapons. As you do a run, you can actually upgrade the weapons, and that is permanent. So it encourages you to use different weapons, and there's a lot of different weapons. At the end, there's some really cleverly designed weapons that actually force you to change your playstyle, to really use those weapons effectively You have to play to their strengths and figure out how to best use them. There is a map, and you can see from the map how sprawling each biome is, and the layout is randomized every time. Even the enemies are randomized, so it keeps you on your toes. There are bits where you can just like take it easy. It's not frenetic all the time. And here I'm deciding, how do I use my yellow currency? I forget what it's called. But I bought an astronaut here. This actually gives you an extra life. So when you die, you get resurrected. So that's a good one to get. So yeah, there's a lot. You have to figure out what items you want to use. And of course, you have to kill enemies to get enough currency to buy the stuff. So it encourages you to explore different areas and replay different areas to get the currency you need. You can even upgrade your suit with new permanent abilities.
Another technology from the gods.
So here's another technology, these things on your knees. So this is alien technology that you find. There's not a lot of upgrades, but there's enough, and it adds a Metroidvania aspect to the game, because these abilities will allow you to reach new areas that you couldn't before. And you're like, okay, I'm going to replay the biomes, because now all those areas that I couldn't get to before, you kind of think, oh well, yeah, now I can get there. It just keeps you coming back, this game. I was just playing it night after night after night. I was really enjoying it. I was playing like an hour or two each night, doing a run or two, and then I was like, I need to take a break now and come back tomorrow, but I always look forward to it. This is a cool boss. Now, I haven't shown the last biome. The last biome is really cool. I'll leave that for you to discover. Me and my mate was like, whoa, the last biome is cool. It's really cool. I won't spoil that for you. But the bosses look great. I actually feel that the final boss was quite easy, which I kind of appreciated, because lots of games ramp up the difficulty of the last boss, don't they? But they don't here. You can see the verticality there, the way the levels are laid out is really ingeniously done. You can teleport, there's little things you can teleport around, so if you want to get back to somewhere relatively easily, you can. I finished the game. I was playing 3 days, 12 hours, 30 minutes, and I had a great time. But as I mentioned before, there's a big update to this game. A big update. They added the co-op, and they added this tower. There's this tower that you can go to, and it's like a whole nother game in itself. So even when you finish the main game, then you get to go to this tower. And here's the tower. Yeah, this is like another game in itself. You can just go up and up and up and up and keep going. All new areas. They've reused a lot of the assets, obviously. And yeah, you just can go up and up and up, and there's leaderboards for getting the highest score. So yeah, even when you finish the main game, you've got this to play. Like, this is even more gamey. This is really like a bullet hell shooter. There's even a multiplier, so you could want to chain your attacks together, keep your multiplier up, and go for like the high scores. And you're just whizzing about from place to place, from room to room, from area to area, destroying things. That turret over there's got a shield, so you need to get close to it and melee it to break the shield. So you can't just shoot things from a distance. It actually forces you to get up and personal. But the amount of different enemies, the variety of the enemies, it's just fantastic. Visually it's stunning. And the 3D audio, I have to mention that, the 3D audio is superb. I definitely enjoyed playing this with headphones. Still sounds great for your TV, but playing with these headphones, the 3D, you really get immersed in it. It's fantastic. And this is all about just fighting your way up, higher and higher and higher and higher, through the rooms, the different phases. And there is a boss. There's a new boss in the tower, and he has different forms. I think there's like 3 different forms to the boss. There are new weapons that look really cool. It looks very H.R. Geiger, sort of like Aliens inspired. You've crash landed on this planet and you're kind of stuck in a loop. Every time you die, you have to start again from scratch. Well, not scratch, as I say, there are lots of things you can unlock. But that's the thing about the game. Even you might play for an hour or two and die, but you still feel as though you've made progress. You've upgraded weapons, you've got ether that you can keep for your next run. You know, do you use your ether to cleanse that bit of health? If you're doing a good run, you think, yeah, it's worth it, I'll do it. So there's, all the time you're managing things and thinking about what you're going to do. It's just a fantastic game. It's absolutely fantastic. As I said, the only thing I would say is a couple more bosses would have been nice for the main game. Oh, and the other thing is, with the main game, you can suspend a cycle. They added a feature, I think by popular request, where you can just save the game, suspend it. It doesn't do it automatically, and sometimes I forgot to do it, which is a nightmare. That's great, because you can suspend the cycle, go to bed, come back the next day and restart it and carry on. But in the tower, you don't seem to be able to do that, which is really disappointing. I was playing for a couple of hours one evening, I was doing really well, getting all these different weapons and abilities, and then I started getting tired. You know, I need to sleep now. But you can't suspend it. You can't suspend it. I don't know why you can't suspend your cycles. Basically, a cycle is just a run. That's the only disappointing thing. I just wish they had added that feature to the tower as well as the main game. This is a grappling hook. This is one of the things you can unlock. And with the grappling hook, you just fly. Like, you can just fly around everywhere, travelling these great distances. It's just so cool. It's a really cool game. I can't wait to see what Housemarque do next. They got bought by Sony, and Sony gave them a lot of money to make this game. I can't wait to see what they do next. They've made shoot 'em ups in the past, and I bought them, but they, you know, digital downloads, the smaller games, nothing like this. Like, this is just on another level. So yeah, I can't wait to see what they do next. Not an easy game. If you like a challenge and you want a challenge, I think a lot of games now are a bit on the easy side. You don't really feel any accomplishment when you finish them, and they're more about just the story and the characters. This game is all about, for me personally, it's all about the gameplay. Some people like the story, some people not so much. For me, I could take it or leave it, but the gameplay, you cannot fault the gameplay. The third person shoot 'em up gameplay is absolutely spot on. So yeah, that's my review of Returnal. If you're curious about this game, if you want to give it a go, I thoroughly recommend it. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye for now.